20 years ago, I did research and I showed what I called the compromise effect, whereby depending on what products you place in front of consumers, they tend to take the middle option. Well, a year ago, a doctoral student here at Stanford, Tali Reich, and I conducted a study where we tried to replicate that compromise effect. This time, however, we showed the participants some of the information that's available on Amazon. We showed them some other cameras, the same product category we used back in 1992. And we showed them reviews. So we showed them some of the information available to consumers today. What happened? The compromise effect disappeared. And that's really the essence of what has changed from making decisions in relative terms in the old days, where you make decisions based on the set of options that is placed in front of you, to the way you make decisions today, which means that today you no longer have to rely on what marketers choose to show you.
The new reality is one where the key is the absolute value that you provide customers. Customers will rely much more on what others are saying and much less on their past history with your product, about the brand or about the fact that your product was placed in the movies or it had been recommended by some celebrity. They really rely on what others are saying, which in many categories simply reflects more or less the truth and your likely experience with that product.
Even though you hear all those mantras, even today, that brands have never been more important and the best investment a marketer can make is in loyalty, we disagree. We feel that actually the importance of loyalty and brands and persuasion is diminishing. And to the extent that your customers can assess quality directly, spending money on persuasion, for example, through advertising, may be a waste of money.
One good way to do it is to go with the product itself, to focus on the product itself. You know, if you view some commercials for some of the high-tech companies now that promote phones, and they're really feature-specific. They look at, they highlight the specific features. They create interest through reviews. There are different methods to seed product, to encourage influencers to talk about the product, again, in a totally authentic and honest way. But it's much more focused on product than brand.
Instead of measuring consumers' existing preferences to predict their future preferences, you have to recognize the reality where consumers make decisions today based on reviews that are available today, which means that what you need to do is to find out what reviewers are saying today, who are the most influential reviewers, and how can we help them recognize the absolute value of our products. In the old days, and just perhaps 10 years ago, marketers were very much in control. They could decide what products to show consumers. They could build their brands, and as they did, they could invest in loyalty. And they could spend money on advertising, which was effective in inducing purchase decisions. Today, all those tools are becoming less important. Marketers are much less in control, and they need to determine where they are, go along with their situation in terms of the way their customers are making decisions. There is no way for marketers to change that, because that is the way consumers are making decisions today, and there's really no way back.